Hey guys, welcome back. Robocraft Early Access coverage. This is episode 63. I'm Enigmas, and today, more match footage in Pretty Hate Machine. This is a recently retooled Pretty Hate Machine. Nothing major. We recessed the thrusters a little bit into the chassis, and then we built up the back around it a little bit, added a couple more electroplates. Just as we level up, we get a little more CPU, and we kind of forget about it, and then all of a sudden we've got 100 extra CPU to invest. Sometimes we can do some interesting things. Now this match is a bit of a balloon fest. Not as bad as it could be, but not that great either. We've got a medic up on that mountain over there who's decided that he's now an offensive bot and he wants to go after bombers and do all kinds of crazy stuff. It's a little bit off-putting when you see that. On one hand, you're kind of like happy for the railgunner up there with him who's kind of getting the heals and stuff, and then on the other hand, you're kind of watching this railgunner with the medic, thinking that maybe that medic would be better off down here with us. This cave is one of those places, it's one of those landmarks where over time you start to realize that there's an advantaged position and a disadvantaged position. The advantaged position is to be the enemy entrenched in the cave. There goes the medic going after the bomber. What a hero. The advantaged position is to be in the cave because that's where all the cover is. There's two different rock formations you can hide behind, and you can peek out from either side. There's all kinds of crazy stuff you can do when you're in the cave. When you're outside the cave shooting in, the only cover you have is the ridge, that lip that you have to come up and over to get into the cave. Really not a substantial amount of cover. So we've got a couple bombers flying around harassing us. We've got the enemies pushed right the way through the cave and basically demolished the lion's share of our team. We're either on our heels or dead. Not the best situation to be in, and it comes from being a little bit too timid at the outset. This is, why we talk about, people slow to leave the base. People just dragging their heels, waiting for someone else to make the decision. This is a prime example of that, because when the two teams meet in that cave, the team that got there first is the one that basically has the advantage. And we didn't have it, and the outcome is pretty much academic at this point. We lost a lot of bots early. We had some bots making some questionable decisions, and as a team we just didn't get there fast enough, and we lost as a result. This one's a little bit different. This is right after that match. There's a railgunner. Actually, I think there might even be two railgunners that's set up on the far side of this valley, and they just basically won't stop shooting across. Hey, good for them. It's smart. It pressures us. Yeah, two of them. It puts pressure on us if we're going to move out to either be in cover to the right where you see all of our bots are now staged, or be at the mouth of the cave. Well, again, too damn slow. Now the enemy is at the mouth of the cave, so if we want to take that position up and be protected from the railgunners on our flanks, we need to be like right in their face. Unfortunately, the medics have set up shop. The inevitable circle jerk. Whenever you get pushed back and nobody really knows where to go, they just hide with the medics. There's the kind of player that will hide with the medics is the kind of player that will make poor decisions, is the player that will not make the decisive, intelligent decisions that are necessary to correct a situation like this. And basically, the story will be told in how many enemy bots are destroyed by the time they're finished mopping the floor with us. There's only so many ways you can explain things to people before they just start, no, I do it this way. I've seen this one guy did it on Twitch. It was really neat, and that means that this is how it should be done, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to argue tooth and nail, even though I always lose when I try and do it that way. It's just one of those things. So look at how many bots we've got over here that are just flipping goo at the enemy. I'm trying to put myself in a position to keep my guns busy. I've mentioned that before. I don't want to be wasting reload cycles. If my guns are ready to fire, I want to be firing them. One of the railgunners has actually moved up. He got sick and tired of waiting for us to expose ourselves and shoot at the enemy. There goes a balloon. Just popped like that. It's just a bad situation to be in. It's a frustrating situation to be in because you're trying to put yourself in a position to be an asset, and everyone else is just, you can hear them sitting off in the back being healed constantly, non-stop, but not being able to do anything with all that wonderful healing they're getting. I actually had a match the other day where we were kind of in the opposite situation. The enemy was in that cave. We were at the mouth of it, where we should be now. And we were in a good position to kind of push them back, push through them, but our medic refused to advance and heal the people on the front line. If you were damaged to the point of being destroyed, you had to move to the back. You had to move back and wait for him to heal you, and then you had to move up. And you basically had this constant cycle of people moving back to get healed, instead of healing us in place so that we could keep shooting and duck to cover if we're at the risk of being destroyed. We're constantly having to take ourselves off the firing line to get healed if we wanted to, because if we didn't, then the enemy was just going to destroy us anyway, because their healers, their medics, were up healing them as they needed to be healed without requiring them to take themselves off the front line. It's a case where, as a player who is not a medic, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You're either, well, I'm not leaving the front line to go get healed because this guy isn't playing ball and get destroyed, or you remove yourself from the front line to get healed so that you can keep going, but the enemy has such a dramatic advantage in terms of the firepower they're able to put out as a result of what their medics are doing, that the outcome is a foregone conclusion. You can see now we're being flanked, and it's basically game over. Not being decisive, not really knowing what they're doing, staging in a nice, safe, comfy place that might seem like a good idea until the people who step out and try and actually win the match are gone, and then everyone is left kind of sitting there wondering, gee, what do we do now? You can see by the number of red bots swarming us that what we do now is we just wait to die, is basically what happens. And it's unfortunate because it's not a very fun way to play the game. It's not a very fun way for matches to end. We're back in the snow. More fun in the snow. You can see now I'm trying to push up this guy. I don't even know what the hell he's trying to do. I guess he thinks that's a thruster stick or something. It's like a little tadpole with a bunch of thrusters on it. He's pretty much useless from the get-go. He can't even get going in a straight line. Mind you, I did kind of bump into him a little bit, but that's okay because I'm trying to get up to this damn cave mouth and get set up to do something useful in opposition to the enemy. But look at how strung out the teammates are. This is actually not bad. They're not too far behind, but you can see there's guys going up the middle. We don't know why. There's guys still that are, you know, going up the east flank. Don't know why. Maybe they're trying to push up to cap. Who knows? But now we've got kind of a decent collection of people up here in the mouth of the cave. It would be a little bit better if we could push these guys out of the cave and kind of dish out a beating to them as they sat on the bridge trying to push their way back in. But the way things have been going at this point, the number of matches I'd run and how they kind of worked out, just having this many people on the front lines trying to contribute is kind of a blessing. So we're going to do the best that we can with it. And this is the case with Plasma. You know, shoot, retreat, get to some cover, do it again. Doing as much damage as I can. I see a lot of people on forums, they're really concerned about how many total kills they got in a match. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone. I'm not trying to say that their contribution didn't matter. I'm saying people who are fixated on how many kills always seem to talk like they did all of the damage themselves. Like, oh, I got 5 kills, I was so awesome. Without ever recognizing that if you killed 5 bots without any support from your team whatsoever, whatever you were using was OP. It's not about how many kills we get, it's whether we won or lost. And if we won or lost and it was a profitable match, then we're happy. But this is a case where we're kind of taking a bit of a beating. It's difficult to figure out exactly what's going on because our team just disappeared. They were there and then they were gone. It was the most amazing thing. It was like the case of the disappearing team. I'm half expecting them all to be ghosts. You see like a little ghost bot go driving by with a very happy look on its face. There's no other way to describe it. I did not get a hero bonus from that match. I'll just point out. It might have something to do with balloons. Here's a big beefy bot, the SMG guy on my side. That's not a balloon. See, someone's going to have to work to get through that. If you watch my videos, you know I'm not a favor of the brick designs. I like to see something a little more creative. But if I have to choose between a creative bot that fights well, a brick that fights well, and a crappy little balloon, I'm always going to at least choose the brick that fights well over the crappy little balloon. It's not even a competition at that point. It's just You forfeit as soon as balloon got attached to the name of your bot. Now this is another one of those kind of odd situations where advance up, trying to figure out where everyone's going. We've got, you know, bombers that are way up across to hell and gone. But then I'm like, where's the rest of our team? They're just kind of scattered all over the damn place. They've kind of gone up the middle. The middle. There's a valley up here, and there's a bridge that extends over the valley, and I see this bomber, and I'm thinking, yeah, I know exactly who he's got his eyes on. So I'm pushing up, and I'm looking, I'm trying to find where the rest of my teammates are. We are just scattered all over the damn place. Not necessarily ideal. The thing with Robocraft is that the maps are small enough that you can start out scattered like this, and if everyone is on the ball and alert and kind of keeping an eye on what's going on, you can recover and you can actually turn scattered and nobody knows what the hell they're doing into flanking the enemy from all sides. It just depends on who's playing and what they're doing. So now we've got the enemy is on our side of the map and we're on the enemy's side of the map, and everyone's meeting in the middle. I don't really like meeting in the middle on this map. I don't think that it's really the kind of situation that I can be my best at in a plasma bot. There's lots of cover with these rocks in the middle. That's not the issue. It's, again, the cover is really, really rudimentary. It's almost like binary. It's like you're in cover or you're not. There's never really ever a situation where you know, you're in cover and you're hidden. The enemy doesn't know where you are unless you're not shooting anyone. Or, you know, there's all kinds of things that could be done to add depth to what's going on. In this case, it's just a matter of the enemy decides that you're the one that they want to kill and they're going to chase you. And unless you've got lots of, like, really varied, large cover, there's not much you can do to get away from it. So I took a beating there. I had SMGs, I had plasma, I had all kinds of crap going after me. I've got a couple guns left, and that's really all I can do is just fire my guns, keep my guns going, looking for our medics that I see. The medics are up the middle, but that's a little bit too close for me. I'm not really feeling that. I think the medics that are in the middle like that are in a very disadvantaged position because the enemy can shoot at them from all sides, and the enemy is shooting at them from all sides. But in this case, to our credit, it appears that the enemy has more balloons than we do this time around. So after kind of doing what I can to put down some damage from a distance, I'm moving up a little bit. I've got a bomber, again, more bombers decided. Bombers really need to smarten up and start prioritizing targets. They see kills, is what they see. Oh, there's a bot, I'll shoot at him and I'll kill him and I'll get points. If they would just take a moment to prioritize their goddamn targets, they might be able to turn the tide of battle, instead of just going after the strays on the fringes. I've got 2 guns left. My bot is very, very difficult to control at this point. I'm grateful now to finally see the attention of a medic or 2. Hopeful that I'll see enough repairs before the end of the match that I'll be able to carry on and contribute a little bit more than I have up to this point. But really, the enemy is kind of on their heels. Their mistakes are showing. They chose to go up the middle. Their bomber's not really doing what a bomber ought to do to support the team in a winning scenario. And the outcome, again, becomes academic. There's so much we can learn from watching these matches when we don't actually have to sit there and play them, because we don't have that part of our brain that's engaged in the decision-making process. We just have to watch what's going on and kind of see what's happening. I would recommend it to anyone if you have an opportunity to record yourself playing and then watch it back. It's amazing what you might learn. So we're going to be doing some more match footage. Getting ready to finish Panther B. We need to gain a few more levels and increase our CPU limit so that we can finish off the Panther B and get that one into some matches. So if you want to be notified when I add those videos, you can always subscribe to my channel and or follow me on social media. Links for social media are always on the information section below the video. Please leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.